Good morning, everybody, and welcome into Mindful Movement. Today is Targeted Tuesday, and today we're going to talk about those hip flexors and strengthening that lower part of your body. Today, we're going to do a seated leg lift, and we're also going to do a hip flexor stretch. I like to make sure people know that my lower body has some limited abilities. I'm going to step back and we're going to go over the leg lift, the seated leg lift first, because my chair is already here. It's ready to go, and we'll get it started. It's a nice way to get those hip flexors moving, get those quads engaged with this lift, and it's very good for that lower body. And then it's a little bit more gentle on your body because you are doing it from a seated position, so you're not worried about staggering or having to hold on to something or anything like that. The muscles worked for this seated leg lift is your hip flexors and your quadriceps. Those are the two main pieces that are being used in this move. Secondary, you're going to tighten that core, so you're using those lower abdominal muscles and that lower back to keep you stable as you do this. You want to keep your body nice and straight, your core nice and tight while you're doing this move. Using momentum, you don't want to just go like this. You want to make them nice, slow, and controlled movements because you want those muscles to engage while you're doing this exercise. Remember to breathe in any exercise that you do. Make sure you're breathing nice, slow, relaxed, focused breaths. Make sure your chair is nice and sturdy. You're going to sit in the chair, back nice and straight, okay? You can even do this on a low bench. I have a low bench. Anything that you can find so your feet can stay flat to the floor. They're going to be on the floor, and your hands are going to be resting at your side, or you can put them on the chair, just like this. You're going to extend one leg. I'm going to do this leg because it's closer to you guys, okay? So back nice and straight. My core is nice and tight. I'm going to extend that foot, keeping the opposite leg where it's at. You want it to stay on the floor. You want those toes pointed up, and you're going to tighten that quad, and you're going to lift using that hip flexor and that quad to lift your leg toward the ceiling. You're engaging this quad muscle, and you're using this hip right here to make that move. Keeping that body nice and tight, and slowly down. You want to make this nice and controlled, so when you get up, you don't want that leg to just drop right down. You want to go up, and then slowly go back down. I like to do these whenever I go up. I count backwards from 5. So you get up here and it's 4, 3, 2, 1. So you count down slowly, and that way you know that you're not using momentum for that movement when you do this. When you're up at the top, you can hold for a second or two and then slowly go back down. Modifications for this: you can lift with your knee bent instead of your knee straight. So for a modification, keep that back nice and straight, your core nice and tight. Instead of locking that knee out to lift that leg, bend that knee a little bit. You're still getting the quad movement and the hip movement. It's just going up a little bit less tight. And you can bring it in and out. You want to make sure that that leg extends back out when you bring it back down, though. If you're a beginner, please keep the lifted leg lower if you're struggling to hold proper form. So if you go up here and you're like this, and you're having to lean over to make it more comfortable, or lean back to make it more comfortable, then you want to drop that leg a little bit lower or bend that knee a little bit more. Another tip would be to focus on those controlled movements and make those holds a little bit shorter before increasing the height or the duration. So if you want to hold just a little bit longer when you get up to that before you go higher, that's going to help you get the strength in those legs to make you make that move. Our next one is going to be the hip flexor stretch. Okay, we're going to do this from the floor. We're going to go down into a kneeling position. I'm on my back knee right here. I'm going to go forward, just like this. You want to keep that foot flat on the floor. You're going to feel this on your inner thigh, all the way up. Now this is with my good knee my bad knee on the ground. So remember that. We're going to change it, and I'm going to put my bad knee forward, and then we'll see how that goes. So you're going to go forward just like this. You want to keep that belly nice and tight. You want to keep your tummy tucked, and you want to stay nice and straight. So now my other foot is forward. I'm on that back leg. I'm going to bring this leg forward. This is my bad knee, so we're going to be cautious with that knee. I'm going to go out, push forward on that front leg. With these stretches, your muscles worked. You're working those hip flexors. You're stretching that out. Your secondaries is those glutes and those hamstrings. Tips for beginners. Keep your back foot tucked under or in a place. You can place it on a cushion. So if you need to, you can always put that back leg on a cushion for knee comfort. So if you feel off balance when you do this, because you do have one foot forward and one foot back, you can always scoot over, touch the wall. No leaning on the wall. You just want to touch it. You don't want to use it for complete stability. And then you lift that leg, put it on the side of the leg that is down behind you. You can do this as is with a chair and standing. I'm going to just point my toe backwards. You go out and you go into a slight lunge forward. I'm going to have to move my foot because my ankle doesn't want to do this. I'm going to go a little more forward so I can show you a little better. And then you just go out like this. That is two wonderful, wonderful exercises. One you can use as a stretch. The other you can use for strength. I edit my videos, put them onto YouTube. My newsletter gives you the information that we've gone over, and it gives you a direct link for my YouTube channel that takes you directly to whichever exercise or discussion you want to see. So, join my YouTube channel, subscribe to my newsletter. And with that, I'm going to say, have a wonderful day.